We're talking mangoes on the Kitchen Hacker. What's the difference between green and red? It's not stop and go, as one might think, but what it is how long this fruit has been on the tree before it was picked. This guy stayed on a little longer than this guy, but they're both at about the same ripeness. If I had to choose between these two, I would take the red one. Now, the next step in choosing it, once you've done your visual, obviously, making sure there's no blemishes, bruises, or other things we don't like on there, we want to check the flesh. We want this to be firm, but still have a little give. If it's hard, that's not good. We don't want baseballs. What we want is something that has a nice little bit of give to it, and it will bounce back when we push on it. If it doesn't bounce back, that means it's mushy, it's overripe, which might be fine for smoothies and things, but not for what I like to use them for, like salsas and other things like that. So now that you know how to choose your mango, let's get started with cutting it. Okay, so now we've selected the mango. Let's talk about the seed inside. It's the next important step. What I did here was I drew on the outside about what the seed looks like on a mango. As you can see, it's kind of large and it's going to be tricky to cut around. So let's get started by cutting off the ends. I'll grab a new one that's not all marked up. You have an end here and an end here. Okay, it's kind of hard to see the bottom, but what you want to do is determine that the seed is running through the center. I'm going to cut. And I'm going to make a parallel cut along the bottom. So now I can see, oh, there's the top of the seed, beautiful, and then here's the bottom of the flesh. Now when you go to cut the skin off, which you have to do no matter what we're going to do with the pineapple, I just gently saw and I roll my knife around. Okay? Notice how I'm holding this. Remember, you can always check out our video on how to hold a knife, and you will see that this I'm doing in a nice, safe manner. Wow, look at the color of this guy here. All right? I'm just rolling the knife around. I'm careful not to take off too much flesh here. Notice I cut the bottom before. That allows a nice stable platform for this cutting procedure we got going on right now. All right. Don't be alarmed if it doesn't take you a while to get this, because, you know, it took me years to really get this good and make it this easy. This is also how I would cut a cantaloupe or a honeydew. Right down like that. All right. I'm going to just trim off that one little piece right there. That's it. We now have a perfectly cut mango. If you can see here, you can see where the seed is. Line that guy up right here. That seed's right in the center there. So if I grab my tool, you can see how I'm going to line this up is straight down the side so that it goes exactly as the seed's going to go. And I'm just going to gently push, allowing it to move around the seed. And when you pick it up, the seed is in here. So you've seen method one, where we use the tool or gadget, as it were, to cut the mango. Next, maybe you don't have one of those laying around, but let's do this old school. Now remember how we talked about the shape of the pit here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run my knife, and as you can see, watch the curve here as I go down. I'm just following the side of the seed all the way around. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, so you can start to see some of the seed showing up here. The only thing I have left is I have some flesh on the sides that I need to get out. So again, this one you got to be a little more tricky, a little more gentle, because we just want to roll around. All right, slippery little guys here. And we're just going to roll around that side there. And there's our seed. So as you can see, this little guy is nothing to be scared of. So pick one up next time you're at the supermarket. Use the tricks I taught you, and you'll be fine. So join us next week when we'll try something new on The Kitchen Hacker, where I help you cook like a pro.